I thought today was a pretty good work day. We had a lot of short yardage, situations, goal line, just trying to continue to instill the toughness and mentality in those critical situations. I thought our guys responded really well. Yesterday was a little bit of a lighter day, huge special teams emphasis. Kind of as we're working through camp. I like the progression of what we're doing from the amount of work that we're getting in. I think our mentality has been better. The approach for some guys that came out this morning and had to kind of get revved up into it, but we were able to get that done. A really competitive practice. We've got a lot of work that we have to continue to do. But this was our probably our most physical practice that we've had, in the course of camp, just with those type of situations, which was good to see. Continuing along with our installations and in special teams, I like where we are on that. Just guys continuing to have a focus of that 1% improvement, and every day the expectation is to be better than you've ever been, and to continue to grow in areas that. Coaches and individually, we know that we have to see that growth. But pleased with the work we got in today. Excited. I think they just announced that we got our 11th game, Jacksonville State. I think it's going to be October 3rd. Is that correct? And so, it's good to get that finalized and done. I know that every opportunity our guys get a chance to play this game is special, and we were glad to do another home contest to fill what was open from Sanford, and excited about that opportunity. And with that, I'll go ahead and open up for questions.
First question will be Chris Lee from Middle Street.
Good afternoon, Coach. We saw a lot of players tweet last night about team camaraderie, and that yesterday was a really special day for them. Can you talk about the team activity that happened after practice completed yesterday? Yeah,
it was we had a team function that was we had a little bit of all. It was some team building challenges, competitive type group setting work. We had a really nice dinner. There as a team, and then had an opportunity to break up into position groups. And, we've done something I've done for a long time in my coaching career. We had basically campfires with our players, and as position coaches, those with their position, just really be able to tell their story. And it's amazing how much time that we spend together. As a football team, but sometimes the story gets left out. Not having full comprehension of some of the events and things that the guys have had to overcome, and what's helped lead them to Florida State. And I thought it was a great evening. Grateful for this team, grateful for these coaches, and who we get to come to work and be a part of every single day. But I thought it was an extraordinary evening, and really glad we got to do that.
Next question will be Ira Sheffield from Warcamp.
Hey, Coach, following up on that, I'm sure those types of activities are important for every team, every season, but because you guys have been apart for so long, you feel like it was maybe more beneficial than it might have been otherwise?
Well, every day that we get together is beneficial, but really trying to have that specific time where we slow down a little bit from just the football activity and to continue to get to know each other. I think is that's what makes this game so special, is that you have guys that are from all different backgrounds. They all different tracks to what got them to this point, and to be able to hear those stories, to be able to just be there to support each other. It's I think empathy is one of the greatest gifts that you can have for someone else, is when you understand their journey, the highs, the lows, the good, the bad. Just to get a better sense of what somebody has gone through. And a little bit better sense of their background, so that when you are lined up side by side with them, or you're all pushing towards a common goal, there's something more than just a jersey number or even a name. You know the person. You have a sense of what they're looking to accomplish, and some of the things that they've been through, and knowing that you have each other's back, I think, is critical.
Next will be Andrea Adelson from ESPN.
Hey, Mike, you talked a lot about just not having the spring and not knowing how much you'd be able to install with this team. I'm just curious at this point right now, where do you feel like you guys are at with the things that you're asking the players to do, how that process has gone to this point?
I think it's gone well. I mean, we are trying to be smart as coaches, not to overdo it. I think we're seeing that the repetitions are coming quicker. I think that our guys are playing faster with more confidence in what we're asking them to do. And that's where the fine balance comes. We're introducing new situations, which sometimes with situations you have to force more installation. But I think they're handling it well. We're still gonna try to be as smart as we can be, and to continue to kind of keep a gauge of the confidence that our guys are having, and trying to show them multiple looks, and trying to mix things up, whether it's personnel groupings, offensively, defensively, the different on the field situations they could see with certain plays, and but I think they're handling it well, and just trying to find those best groupings for what we want to do and how we're moving forward.
Next will be Kurt Warner from the Democrat.
Hey, Coach, I know obviously that Jackson State game is kind of in a different spot on the schedule than you had the Stanford game. When you have two byes built into a season like this, do you like having one earlier in the year, or you're going to play one game and then have 2 weeks to kind of break that down and prepare for the next game?
Yeah, really how the schedule was broke up anyways, it was going to be, a bye week in week 4 or in week 2 now. So it's not a huge difference, but, just like any coach will say, one of the biggest strides that you see from your team is between week 1 and week 2 and that second game. And so, we're working extremely hard to be in the best position that we can be for that first game, and then basically having 2 weeks after that. I've been a part of that situation in my coaching career, having a week 2 bye, so I am familiar with what that will look like, and having a bye week in the back end, it doesn't put too much stress. I think we'll have 5 straight games, which is a pretty reasonable thing that we should be able to do. But at the end of the day, it's just about making sure that everything right now is preparing through fall camp, and getting ready for the first one, and then we'll be able to adapt and adjust and continue to grow as we get to that next week and that bye week in week 2.
Coach, you mentioned today's practice was a bit physical, maybe one of the most physical you've had so far this preseason. Was that the plan going into today, or did it just sort of organically happen where the competition ramped up? No, it was planned. I mean, it was there's times we try to, coming off a day that was a lighter workload. We wanted to crank it up a little bit, and that's there's certain situations in football that there's that's gonna. You're gonna force that physicality just by the situation and kind of the stakes that are on those calls. And I thought our guys responded well. You could see the competitive juices were flying, and we're gonna have another great practice tomorrow, leading into Saturday. So this is usually the second week of throughout my coaching career, the second week of camp. This Thursday practice, I always want to be a extremely physical practice, because you just got to continue to instill that in our guys' mind. And that's what we're going to be, and that toughness has to be put on display.
Mike, I know there's a handful of walk-ons on the roster that have played quite a bit already in their careers, and guys are pushing for spots on the depth chart. I guess for you, how valuable can those walk-ons be in formulating depth, and what kind of role do they have in your program traditionally?
I mean, it's going to be critical. It's going to be critical for the development of our program. I started college as a walk-on, and I was fortunate to be able to earn my way to something better than that. But as I look back through my coaching career, some of the best players I've ever coached were walk-ons, and for whatever the reason, maybe they didn't have the exposure coming out of high school, or they were a late developer. But that's something that we're going to be very, very active in our program. I can tell you, right now, we've got a couple young men that have come in, and even as freshmen walk-ons that are pushing for opportunities opportunities. And I know I've mentioned Preston a few times, for what he's done at the tight end position, and he's done. I mean, he's going to put himself in a position to help this football team. I believe this year. You look at Dante Sheffield. I mean, is a young man that has played some good ball, had some meaningful reps. I think he's getting better and better as this camp is kind of going on. Excited about what I'm seeing from him, and it's a process, and it's usually a hard track because of the sacrifice that you have to make financially. But I always tell these guys when they come in, don't put any limits on yourself. Don't put any limits on what you can accomplish. Just continue to work. Go out there every day, being the best version of yourself, and as you continue to grow and develop, the sky's the limit for what you can do. One of the best players I ever coached was Anthony Miller. He's ended up being an All-American wide receiver, and ended up being a top draft pick, in the National Football League, and he was one of the hardest workers I've ever been around. And so I'm excited about the guys that we have, and I'm excited about some of the guys that we'll be able to attract to our program as we continue to develop that walk-on program.
We'll go back to Iowa for more camp.
As far as player development goes, and I know Jeff Cupper and the staff you guys have done a good job for you at Memphis, and looking forward to do the same thing. Do you see actual tangible results from that on the field as well, or do you view that part of it as a separate part of the program?
I think as I said, I think it was my opening press conference. I'm a big believer that how you do anything is going to be how you do everything. And as you sit there and you look at relationships, I think when you're willing to invest in a relationship with a young man and a teammate, that gives you a better sense of purpose and passion when you get a chance to compete with them. And when you're side by side and you're in a tough and challenging moment, when you know that relationship is strong, that relationship has been built upon, I think you're going to give more. And, when there's that type of connection, not only, what you're doing off the field and how that relationship is going to last the rest of your lifetime, but also what it's going to mean to you on the field, knowing that you have somebody that you can count on, somebody that, has, that you've invested in each other to build that bond. I just think that's what makes this so special. I know we talk a lot about our climb, but the B in our climb is this brotherhood, and it's what makes football so special. And this is the only 2020 Florida State football team that there'll ever be. It will never be the same. Right, whether it's players, coaches, it's always going to be different. But the identity of what this team is going to be, we're in complete control of. And so, just trying to invest in each other. I think to answer your question, it helps in all aspects. But I think it does show up on the field.
Go back to Brendan from 247.
Mike, going back to the team building activity, the getaway, I know you said you've done that at previous stops as well. When did that first become something that you kind of integrated into your coaching philosophy? Did you ever do that as a player?
As a player, I did not do that. It was really when I went to Arizona State. We actually started going to Camp Tonazona, which is a tradition that's back to the Frank Kush days, and it was a getaway up into the mountains in Arizona, kind of the pine trees of northeastern Arizona, and it was such a unique experience because you get away for camp, and it was something we were planning on doing here. To be honest with you, for this time, we were planning on going away before COVID hit, and we had to make some adjustments. And it's something that we will do here in the future. But it's just any opportunity that you can kind of break up the monotony of camp and do it with something that is meaningful and has a great purpose, I think is positive. Tonight we're going to continue to build upon that. We've got a guest speaker, which I'll tell you guys about tomorrow. That I am so very excited that's going to share with our team, and then we'll have another event tomorrow night. I always like to kind of finish up camp, investing in a lot of the things that are off the field and building the mind, building the heart, because that's that's going to be critical towards our success, because I can promise you at some point this year, and it's already, it showed up throughout since December 8th. I mean, there's going to be good, there's going to be bad, there's going to be unexpected things that show up, but when you have the heart that's in the right place with people that you love being around, and being a part of an organization that's bigger than yourself, you're gonna find joy and you're gonna find happiness, and that's what we're doing this for.
Go back to Azon at working.
Social media is a headache for, I guess, a lot of coaches, but I don't know if you were aware, just so many players did go to Twitter last night and kind of compliment the entire night and evening. Is that reassuring at all for you or comforting?
Well, I mean, I was there, so I got a pretty good sense of what what it meant to them, and when you have guys that fifth-year seniors that have been through it. I mean, they've seen a lot of change. They've seen a lot of different things, highs and lows, like we talked about. When they come up and just thank you for providing an opportunity like that, you could see it in their eyes. You could. There was some real emotion last night, and like I said, I'm grateful to coach this team. I'm grateful for what we're working to build, and I'm just excited. I'm excited those guys took advantage of the opportunity that they had to pour into each other, and I thought it was pretty special.